There's a quiet moment that doesn't show up on the news. It's when you're scrolling and you see the word freedom used like a weapon. Someone posts, "I'm defending freedom." Someone else replies, "No, you're destroying it." And if you're honest, you might notice something uncomfortable. Do we actually believe in freedom, or only in the version that protects what we already agree with? Is freedom of expression still sacred when the other person's opinion makes your stomach tighten? Because it's easy to support freedom in theory, it's harder when freedom shows up as contradiction, disagreement, or a voice you don't like. Today, we're not trying to fix you. We're going to slow down, look at what's really happening, and see what might be possible from here. When I say freedom, I'm not only talking about laws, politics, or rights on paper. I'm talking about something simpler and often more personal. The feeling that you have real choice, real control, real room inside your own mind. There's a famous kind of survey question used across the world that asks people to rate on a scale from 1 to 10 how much freedom of choice and control they feel over the way their life turns out. In a dataset of 267,870 people across 84 countries, the global average sits around 6.61 out of 10. That number matters for a surprising reason. Across those countries, feeling free and in control is one of the strongest predictors of life satisfaction, stronger than health or income in the same analyses. So if you sometimes feel trapped, resentful, reactive, or exhausted, it doesn't automatically mean you're weak. It may mean you're experiencing something deeply human. When people feel their choices shrinking externally or internally, something in the nervous system starts to tighten. And here's where it gets tricky. A lot of people publicly defend freedom, while privately or socially trying to control what others are allowed to say. They claim everyone has the right to express themselves. But the first time someone disagrees, the message becomes, "Shut up, you shouldn't exist." If you've noticed that contradiction, you're not paranoid, you're paying attention. And it's worth asking, are we defending freedom or defending our identity? Are we protecting truth or protecting the comfort of being right? So if this feels familiar, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. But it also means there's something here we can look at more closely. Picture someone like you. Let's call them Alex. It's late evening. The room is dim. Phone screen is too bright. Alex tells themselves, just 5 minutes. A video plays, then another. Someone is speaking passionately about freedom. The comments are full of applause and full of hatred. Alex feels two emotions at once. A kind of relief. Finally, someone says what I feel. A quiet fear. If I disagree, I'll be attacked. Then it happens. A close friend sends a message. I don't see it that way. Alex's chest tightens. Not because the message is evil, but because disagreement now feels like danger. Alex types a reply, deletes it, types again. And the thought underneath it all isn't really about the topic. It's this: if they disagree, maybe I'm not safe. Maybe I'm losing my place. Maybe I'm losing control. So Alex does what many of us do. They don't stay with the discomfort. They search for certainty. They find a group, a label, a side. And slowly, without noticing, freedom becomes less about choice and more about belonging. And yet, later that night when the noise fades, Alex feels something heavy. If I need a crowd to tell me what to think, am I free? This is usually where we either run away, distract ourselves, or judge ourselves. But what if we just, for a moment, stayed and looked more closely at what's happening? Key idea 1. Freedom isn't just something you have, it's something you practice. A lot of people treat freedom like a flag you wave. But there's another kind of freedom, quiet and sacred. Internal freedom. The ability to notice your own mind instead of being owned by it. If your thoughts are automatic, if your beliefs are only inherited, If your emotions are constantly hijacked by whatever your group is outraged about this week, then even if you live in a free place, you may not feel free inside. And research actually hints at this difference between external conditions and internal experience. For example, across decades of survey data, Americans reported feeling roughly 2 points higher in perceived freedom than Japanese respondents on that same 1 to 10 scale. And that gap explained about 89% of the life satisfaction difference between the two countries. So don't use that to stereotype anyone. Use it to notice something more universal. The way you experience freedom inside your own life can shape your happiness more than you expect. So the question becomes less who is right and more what is happening inside me when I feel threatened, controlled, silenced, or obsessed with control. Key idea 2. If freedom matters, the real test is speech you don't like. It's easy to defend speech that matches your values. The harder question is, do you defend the right to speak when it's uncomfortable? Because if freedom of expression only applies to opinions you support, then it's not freedom, it's permission. And here's another subtle point. In a cross-cultural experiment, simply adding the word freedom to a question increased support for controversial speech in some countries, but not others. It worked in places like the United States, Canada, Germany, Taiwan, and the Netherlands, but showed no effect in countries like Brazil, Mexico, Japan, South Korea, Italy, and Spain. Translation: the word freedom can be emotionally persuasive, but it doesn't mean everyone means the same thing by it. So when someone says, "I'm defending freedom," it's worth asking, freedom for what? Freedom for whom? And what happens when freedom costs you social comfort? Key idea 3. Knowledge protects freedom. Dogma replaces it. If freedom is the ability to choose consciously, then ignorance is a cage. And dogma, whether religious, political, or social, often works the same way. It gives you pre-made conclusions, so you don't have to think. It gives you a tribe, so you don't have to face uncertainty. But the price is quiet. The price is your own mind. This is why inner freedom is deeply linked to learning, not as a status symbol, but as liberation. Not "I know everything," but "I'm willing to examine what I believe." And that matters socially too, because when people stop thinking for themselves, they become easier to absorb into the mass, into the crowd, into the loud certainty of us versus them. A healthy democracy, in the deepest sense, isn't just a system. It's citizens who can think clearly enough to become sentinels of their own freedom, not outsourcing their minds to slogans. And here's the hard truth. Sometimes, the person most likely to be manipulated is the person who thinks they're immune. In Europe, one large study found something counterintuitive. People with more authoritarian attitudes reported higher perceived media freedom, even when objective media freedom was weaker. That's not just a political detail, it's a human one. It shows how easily perception can be shaped and how someone can feel free while being guided. Understanding is a beginning, but for this to matter in real life, it has to touch what you do tomorrow morning or tonight when that familiar feeling shows up again. These aren't commandments, just small experiments. Ask, where did I choose today? Where did I react automatically? What influenced me? Fear, habit, belonging, anger, or clarity? Freedom grows when you can see your patterns without hating yourself for having them. The next time you hear an opinion you dislike, try this. Before you respond, inhale slowly, exhale slowly, and ask, what is this threatening in me right now? Is it your values, or your identity, or your need to feel safe? You don't have to agree. You're just practicing not being owned by the reflex. Pick one topic you care about, just one. For 1 week, replace fast content with something slower, a long-form article, a book chapter, a full interview with someone who disagrees respectfully. Not to become neutral, but to become free enough to think. Write this sentence. A belief I inherited and rarely question is... Then write, if I were wrong about this, what would I be afraid of losing? Because sometimes the cage isn't outside you. Sometimes it's a belief you never consented to, still running your life.
And a quick note, this video is not therapy or professional advice. If this topic touches something very deep or painful, especially around trauma, control, or identity, it might be important to talk with a professional you trust. You don't have to do all of this. Even one small step, repeated gently, can begin to shift something over time. Before you go, I want to leave you with a few questions, not to answer perfectly, just to sit with. Where in your life does freedom feel most real right now? And where does it feel missing? What opinion, group, or habit quietly controls you more than you want to admit? What would the most internally free version of you do the next time you feel triggered by disagreement? And remember the analogy. You can be like a prisoner carrying the keys to your own cell in your pocket, but never using them. The cell is ignorance, old prejudices, automatic thinking. The keys are your attention, your reasoning, your courage to question, your willingness to learn. No one outside the cell can live your freedom for you. If you feel comfortable, share in the comments what part of this video resonated most with you. Your story might quietly help someone else. And if someone came to your mind while you were watching, maybe this is a video they need too. If you'd like more quiet spaces to think about life and grow at your own pace, you're welcome to stay. Subscribe to Reflect and Rise, and let's keep walking this path together. You don't have to rise loudly. You just have to keep rising.